Okay, we're going to look at The Death of the Ball Turret Gunner by Randall Jarrell today. And I'm just going to read through it and then show you my examples of what I did. I tried to use a variety of pictures and text talking about meaning or tone, just so you can get a better understanding of the poem. So the poem reads, "From my mother's sleep I fell into the state, and I hunched in its belly till my wet fur froze. 6 miles from earth, loosed from its dream of life, I woke to black flak and the nightmare fighters. When I died, they washed me out of the turret with a hose." Okay, so I broke it down, starting with the title. Um, and so I just searched for pictures of what this ball turret would have looked like, especially since a lot of us have been reading Unbroken, looking at World War II era planes. And so I kind of deduced that this poem is about a soldier dying, probably the man who's manning the gun in a plane. So here's an example of what that would look like. And then it says, "From my mother's sleep, I fell into this state." Notice I highlighted the S here because it's capitalized, and I really don't know why. That makes me think maybe country, but also mother's sleep. I was thinking that the plane is like a mother, and so he's safe asleep there. But I really don't know if state is country or state of rest. The next line says, "And I hunched in its belly till my wet fur froze." So connecting it back to that previous line, it's like he's safe in the belly of a plane, like in the belly of a pregnant mother. And then the wet fur made me think it's like frost gathering on this airman's wool lining of his jacket. The next line reads, "6 miles from Earth, loosed from its dream of life." So I thought maybe 6 miles in the air is where they were when they got shot down. Loosed from life, meaning they're not going to survive, or just the dream of survival. So we have a picture here. This is a real photograph from World War II of a bomber being shot down. And then I woke to black flak and the nightmare fighters. And I think this is a great line. So I imagine him waking up being shot at by fighter planes, these nightmare fighters. He goes from safety to danger in an instant, and it's like a nightmare. And so I found this great picture of this little tiny person here with this enormous looming monster, and it's all just dark and gray. And like, how could you survive that? So I felt like it showed the tone very well, the fear and just feeling small in comparison. And then the last line is just amazing because before you have all this imagery, these metaphors, and then this very practical, straightforward line. It's just so sterile. "When I died, they washed me out of the turret with a hose." And it just feels so empty. So maybe they didn't have enough to bury. Maybe it's that they just washed out his memory. I mean, the plane must have made it back if they're cleaning it, but they're washing away the memory of him for some other soldier to come and take his place. And just how, I don't know, soulless, heartless that feels. There's no ceremony, no grandeur. It's just what was left of him and his memories washed away. Someone else will take his place. There's not even respect there. It's like spraying out a dirty garage. And so I found these pictures that kind of what kind of I envision, and then the tone, just kind of that very minimalist feeling. And I feel it really brings home the message of this poem, that's really about a little boy who goes to war, and he faces these nightmares, and in the end he dies, and there's nothing left for him, not even a memory.